many of our distinguished teachers, professors will be here to, this evening to also be part of this program. And as soon as they come in, I will make sure I announce that they are with us. Yeah, Professor Emeritus Femi Bamiru was here, so I think he's back online now. Even before we started, we really appreciate his being with us. And then tonight, our topic is from efficiency to equity. That is a very, very great topic. And that's what I just said. I said it's a great topic. And to be fair enough, it's a classic dilemma in many fields and countries and the modern world. Equity, efficiency. So how industrial engineer can leverage, how industrial engineering can also be part, come with our knowledge, can win big in the financial market. So in the financial markets, I will leave that for the speaker, for the lecturer, guest speaker, to, to do justice when it's time. So I will want to start with our opening remarks from the chairperson, which is Professor Onwunmi Ayodele Simon Onwunmi, which is teaching professor of mechanical engineering from Lautech and Colin Dean College of Engineering at Achievers University of. And I just did a little bit of his biography here, so that we can know who, our current our professor, so where it's coming from. So I would like to use this opportunity to welcome Professor E.S. Onwunmi to give your opening remarks, sir. You're welcome, sir. And
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
And I want to say good afternoon to everyone who have been on this particular Zoom. It's going to be a very great one. The special guest of honor, our Professor Shonibare. Then the guest of honor, also we have the host. I hope some of them will still join us, those who might not have been here. All the other protocols duly and well observed. It is my pleasure to welcome you to today's lecture. As announced already, the topic is from efficiency to equity. How industrial engineers can win big in the financial market. This concept represents a paradigm shift from solely optimizing processes to prioritizing fairness, inclusiveness, and social responsibility. By exploring the intersection of industrial engineering and finance, we will discover how engineering practices can drive innovation, optimize systems, and as well create value. So as we gather here this evening, we will embark on a fascinating journey to unlock the potential of industrial engineers in the financial market. We will also explore how efficiency-driven mindset can lead to win big in finance, from optimizing systems to managing risk. This lecture aims to investigate the powerful intersections between industrial and system engineering and finance. We all also agree that industrial engineering cut across so many disciplines. So we can say it's partly a multidisciplinary approach to engineering solution. So also, it will also inform us about the powerful intersection between the industrial and systems engineering as well as finance, and also to reveal how core engineering practices can be applied to stock selection, portfolio optimization, and market forecasting. So by treating financial market as a system of production, we can leverage tools used to improve factories and supply chains to build wealth and manage financial risk. And we also agree with me that in this era of uncertainty and volatility, positioned to bring clarity, structures, and strategy to investment decision making. This session, we challenge traditional boundaries of industrial and system engineering discipline and open new conversation. So let's get ready to discuss the power of the interdisciplinary thinking. As our guest lecturer is fully loaded, prepared to both inform and also to encourage the industrial engineers in their profession, and to be able to make impact, especially in our immediate environment and also in the economy. And also how to take care of our career, at least to take our career to a new height. We are very hopeful that we stand to gain a lot in the course of this particular lecture. So let's explore the potential of industrial engineers to drive value in financial sector and empower our students, those who might even be on this platform or those who are not even, and then also empower the academics and then the professional colleagues in a kind of a system thinking beyond the production workspace into a dealing room. So we are very hopeful that in the course of this particular lecture and after, we will have a lot to gain and we'll be able to impact our society more efficient than ever. So once again, I want to thank the organizers, especially all our alumni, as well as those who have been featuring in the previous edition of this program, and encourage all other members who have not been here before, just like myself, because I'm joining this for the first time today, and I promise that henceforth I'll be more frequent, and also I will encourage others to join. Thank you very much. I wish every one of us a wonderful lecture time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. That's our chairperson, Professor Onorumi. And then we need to hear from a special guest of honor, which is Professor Mugbo Adiola Shumbar. Anyway, on the screen, I don't need to say anything. So she's a distinguished professor of pharmacognosy at the University of Ibadan, and currently the director of Pan-African University of Life Science, that's Institute, that's Lucy. And with her research interest in medicinal plant research, diversity conversation, that is from her profile, things that has to do with plant medicine and all of that, but that we are not here for tonight. So please, ma, kindly give us your welcome and opening remarks. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I want to stand on the existing protocols. And first of all, I would like to thank you so very much for inviting me to be part of this lecture. And I salute the courage and the good work being done by members of this society, especially in bringing the alumni together. All of us know that there's no institution that can really exist full-fledged now without the Alumni Association. Even as big as the University of Ibadan is, we are drawing on the largesse of alumni, and so very well. This is a welcome idea. This lecture titled From Efficiency to Equity, How Industrial Engineers Can Win Big in the Financial Markets, I think is a very good topic because finance is what you need every day. whether you are an engineer or you are not. I'm not one, but I know that you'll be speaking to every one of us today, and that some of the highlights of the principles of engineering, such as optimization, efficiency measurement, data-driven decisions, can become applicable to our everyday life. I know that um, at the end of this lecture, just as you have proposed, you will make us to think beyond the shop floor to get to the trading floor, so that eventually the lessons we are going to learn at this lecture will find expression in our lives as we apply the principle we shall learn to our everyday life. So I can only wish every one of us well, and wish the department well. And to also say that as an institute of the Pan-African University, we are ready to continue to collaborate with everybody that is on this, that have joined this lecture, to please take the good lessons from this lecture and apply it to our everyday life. I wish us a very good time.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much, ma. Yeah, thank you so much, ma. All right, so I would like to call on Dr. Olagbemi Sasana, that's our guest of honor, to kindly give your own welcome address. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
I felicitate with the Department of Industrial and Production Engineering, University of Ibadan, and her Alumni Association on this auspicious occasion of holding your 35th online monthly lecture series. I wish the department, as one of the trailblazers in the Nigeria university system, many more successful years in training and molding young Nigerian minds who are charged and equipped morally and academically with the great vision of improving Nigeria in a way that will make the country the center of attraction, center of attention of all within a short time. I pray that the department will continue to produce graduates with high academic standards and adequate practical background for self-employment and for making them valuable to industries and their communities in general, and the promotion of national goals of industrialization, enterprise, and self-reliance. Finally, I pray that all the wonderful objectives of the IPEAA will be achieved. Congratulations, and thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for your message. We appreciate, and we thank you for the prayers too. And before we continue, I just also want to appreciate those joining us. Professor Emeritus Olufemi Bamiri was here earlier, and thank you so much, sir. We also want to thank all our teachers, our professors at the department. Thank you, HOD, Professor Victor Oladokun. We appreciate you, sir. We want to thank teachers too, Dr. Adekunle Kolawole. Thank you so much. And then I can also see some of our students here. I could see, so I think Professor Akombi, Olusegun Akombi too, also is with us. Thank you, sir, for joining us. Appreciate Michael Ogunsanya, that's Dr. Michael Ogunsanya. And as I see the names too, I want to say thank you so much for joining us. I think we need to, there's time for a citation of the guest speaker, and then I want to welcome Mr. Daudu Adidamola to kindly take the floor and cite the guest speaker biography. Thank you. Mr. Adidamola, are you with us, please? Are you with us so that you can do this citation? Okay. So I'm not sure it's with us. Mr. Ditam, are you with us, please? Can you kindly? All right. Okay. I think there's a lot of right. Maybe we might have to do that after a while. So I would like to welcome the guest speaker. That's Dr. Kehinde Temitokpelu Banjo, which
Maybe
we. Okay,
allow me
sir.
to
Okay, all right, sir.
read
Okay.
the citation. Doctor, from Efficiency to Equity, our guest lecturer today is Dr. Kehinde Temitokpe Banjo. He's a postdoctoral fellow at Department of Industrial and System Engineering, Hong Kong Polytechnic University, Hong Kong. Dr. Temitokpe is a passionate and data-driven industrial system engineer with expertise that spans across smart manufacturing, financial engineering, artificial intelligence, and multi-criteria decision-making. He earned his bachelor's and master's degree in industrial and production engineering from the University of Ibadan, both with distinction, culminating in a first class for his undergraduate studies and a distinction in engineering management at postgraduate level. He further obtained his PhD in industrial and system engineering from the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, Hong Kong, where he is currently serving as a postdoctoral fellow. Dr. Temitokpe's professional journey reflects a unique blend of academic excellence and practical experience. He has worked as a graduate trainee with Zenith Bank of Nigeria, where he developed a strong foundation in financial operations, treasury, asset management, and forex services. His rare combination of finance and engineering laid the groundwork for his later work in financial modeling, stock portfolio optimization, and market prediction using tools such as data envelope analysis, inverse DA, transformer-based deep learning models. He has contributed significantly to teaching and research, having served as a graduate assistant, research associate, and laboratory instructor at Hong Kong Polytechnic University. His current postdoctoral research focuses on the development of AI-driven predictive models to improve dyeing process accuracy in smart manufacturing. Dr. Temitokpe is also a consultant with Pathway Education Holdings in Hong Kong, where he supports African students' engagement and development. A prolific researcher and reviewer, Dr. Temitokpe has published widely in reputable journals such as Expert System with Applications, Finance Research, PON, and Journal of Big Data. He has presented at global conferences in London, Detroit, and Hong Kong, and actively reviews for major publishers, including SCVR, Springer, and Taylor and Francis. Dr. Temitokpe is a recipient of several awards, such as the Hong Kong PhD Fellowship Scheme, Best Teaching Assistant Award, and multiple academic fellowship. He is affiliated with notable professional bodies such as IEEE, IIC, and POMS, and the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Beyond academia, he is the founder of Smile for Me initiative and share Pluto's concept, reflecting his commitment to both community development and entrepreneurship. In his leisure, he enjoyed football and swimming and political debate and engaged with youth development program. Today, he brings a compelling message on how industrial engineers can unlock financial values by applying system thinking and data analytics to the world of investment and finance. Ladies and gentlemen, join me to welcome our beloved alumni, Dr. Kehinde Temitope, for this lecture. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
All right. Yeah. Good day, everyone. Good day, Professor S.A. Onawumi, the chairperson of today's lecture. Good evening, Professor Mobo Sonibare, the special guest of honor. Good evening, Dr. Olagbemi Osasuna, the guest of honor, and the MC of today, my teacher, Dr. Odedayo. And other professors I may not mention called Hong Kong. Yeah. I would like to share my slide. I don't know if you have, okay. Okay. I would like to someone to confirm if you can see my screen.
You can say it.
Can you? Okay,
Yes,
okay, thank you so
yes.
much. So tonight, I count it as a privilege to be here tonight and give a lecture before my distinguished teachers, professors, daddies, mommies, and more. So I really appreciate the privilege because I was shocked when I received the message that I'm to present. I said, wow, okay, well, thank you so much. Thanks because it's the leverage you gave us and the teaching and all that actually got us this present position. So really appreciate you, especially in terms of the teaching and the recommendation, motivation and all. And my special greeting to my supervisor, Professor Oluleye. I don't know if he's here, but I want to say a special thank you to him for all the postgraduates. We'll be discussing on the topic from efficiency to equity, how industrial engineers can win big in the financial market. I know a lot of people will felt probably the topic is for industrial engineers alone, but no, it's either for anyone, whether engineers or non-engineers. And but why I use the word industrial engineers because the origin of efficiency is industrial engineering. And efficiency can also be related to productivity when you talk about output and you talk about input. And the efficiency here is also all about output, input. And over here, we can assume it to be like weighted output and weighted input. So, which the efficiency here is all about DEA, and that is data envelopment analysis, which was founded by Charles Copperroot in 1978. So it's all about how to know the efficiency of a system. And why I use the word industrial engineer also because the tool itself is an linear programming tool, LP. And we all know that linear programming is more of an industrial and probably people who are doing applied mathematics. So, and I noticed like even in back then, we were taught about DA, but most of the time we only thought about the applications to maybe manufacturing systems, maybe agricultural system, maybe engineering systems and the like. But people don't know that this is a tool that actually resembles what I can call the AI of today, because AI virtually can be applied to any field in life. But same thing as the is a data analytics tool, and it can also be applied to every field because every field where we have something that actually enters any systems, we have something that is being fed inside, and there's always be an output. So as a result of that, you can also see DA as a kind of hotspot where we can see it as something of AI of of other fields. So it's a very nice field, and I believe tonight we get to work and see how we can actually apply this kind of tool to the financial market and make money. Okay, this is my presentation outline. Okay, so yeah, imagine a world where bankers not just with the financial market. A lot of people always believe like the financial market are being run by the bankers alone, but it's not so. Even when you check some uh, finance department abroad, I mean, all these top schools, people, most of their lecturers are even industrial. They have industrial engineering, maybe background, maybe their first degree or second degree. So the word, and oh, I also want to say something for some people who probably are not aware. Like the world is beyond all this. I study engineering, then maybe I have to do my research or have my master's in engineering. You can always, there is all this kind of diversity of multidisciplinary that you can actually study. Like for example, I have a friend here that studied law, first degree and second degree, but he's doing PhD in industrial engineering. I know that may not be possible in Nigeria because the such application will be rejected. But it all depends on what you are bringing in. And I have a lot of friends here too that study maybe statistics, mathematics, psychology, and many more. And they are doing their PhD in industrial engineering. So there is a very nice field that can accommodate a lot of other disciplines. Okay, so why this topic matters? Yes, my first point here states that as of today, the stock market worth over $124 trillion US dollars. And you can also confirm these statistics from the quoted web link. So look at this money, and US take about 65% about out of this old money. So now, if the market worth this kind of value, can't you just picture it in your mind that can I make something out of this system? That's why this kind of topic matters. Also, for some of us here that are probably maybe lecturers, maybe practitioners, maybe anything, there'll be a day that you think about your life that, okay, I don't want to work again. I want to retire. I don't want to struggle again. I don't want to stress myself again. And why I got interest, okay, maybe I should try and probably tell you more about how I venture into finance. So when I got here for my PhD, it wasn't easy. I won't lie. So I started with my first research. I later changed to second research, third research, fourth research. So my supervisor called me and said, "What will you do?" And I said, "Okay, I don't know. Can you suggest?" So I said, "Okay, I'm almost close to 70. I want to retire. Can you please think of something I can do that can fetch me money so that when I retire, I will not have to work or think about how to spend my pension or anything?" So that was how the idea of, okay, can we think about stock market or finance and so we can invest and maybe use your gratuities to invest and make more money. And since then, throughout my first year, I started research, not even for the academics. I did a lot of personal research and about how I can make money from finance, from stock market, crypto. It works like brothers. No, the idea in stock market can be applied to foreign exchange, forex, can be applied to crypto, commodity market, and many more. So I did it. It was very challenging, but I actually made a fortune from it before I stopped due to some visa issues, like over here, there is a particular amount you must have when you have start to have more than a certain amount. So to raise a lot of suspicion, banks can, today, bank call you tomorrow. So that's why I actually stopped. Not like the system is not fetching me money again. So I just have to stop when the issues was beyond comprehension. Okay, so that was how this topic matters because of the what. The what, this what make it a kind of economic barometer that a system can be seen as a very buoyant system or a failed system by virtue of their stock markets. Okay, motivation for this study or motivation for this kind of topic. Um, Look at the statistics. Between 1965 and 2022, XRP 500 is a major stock index in the United States. Make an approximation of return of 24,708%. That is, if you put $1, you'll be getting this amount after 57 years. And within the same period, Warren Buffett made a return of 3,787,464%. So you can confirm this from the link attached. So it's not, I didn't formulate the statistics. So what I'm saying, this is like, imagine making this kind of return. So that means if you invest $1 to make this kind of return in 57 years, what about if you invest $10,000? What about if you invest $1 million? Just imagine what you'll be getting today after 57 years. So if you are looking for a quick way to probably write a new story of your life, a stock market is a kind of place you can venture and probably invest your money or your fortune. Okay, another motivation that also um, got me interested in this research area or topic is the quote of Bill Gates that says, "If you are born poor, it is not your mistake, but if you die poor, it is your mistake." This really touched me because I was born poor, and I blame my parents and a lot of people. But I told myself that I will never die poor. I always tell myself it's like a confession every day when I wake up. Then that I will never die poor. Life was very hard when I was in UI. I never seen million in my life before and all that, but by venturing into this business and coupled with the scholarship, I can see my monthly income in worth of never. It's not millions, even though not in worth of US dollars or anything. So it's one of my motivation for going to stock market. Okay. The third motivation is about the sacred text. Ecclesiastes 11:1-2 says, invest your money in foreign trade, which is like Forex or stock market. The foreign trade can be stock market, can be Forex. They are still like foreign trade. And I said, one of these days, you will make profit. So this ideology is is the kind of ideology that a trader needs in stock market, because when people want to trade in stock market, they want to make profit, they want to always be on the positive note or positive side. But it's not so, because even if the scripture confirmed it that one of these days, not every day, he said one of these days you make profit. And he said, put your investment in several places. So this also talks about diversification, in portfolio. So he said many places, even because you never know what kind of bad luck you are going to have in this world. So you can check it from GLT version of the scripture. So it's also one of the motivation for this study. So now the engineering mindset, as a typical industrial engineer is about system thinking, process optimization, decision science, and risk minimization. If you learn this in the theory, how can you apply it in practice? So this actually kind of mindset that we need to think about. So, and what are the core tools that we know that we industrial engineers usually use? One of the core tools, there are many, but these are just some of them. One of them is DEA. And what is DEA? DEA means data envelopment analysis. It's a linear programming tool, like I said earlier. It actually measures what is called relative efficiency between homogeneous decision-making units. So let's say, for example, now there are universities in Nigeria. You can use this kind of DA, and people also use it for this ranking. So you look at the input, look at the output. They can measure the weighted output to the ratio of weighted input to know how efficient that system is. So this same principle can be applied to every field: agriculture, water, just anything. So far is a system that involves input coming in and output going out. Also, inverse DA. Inverse DA is just a reverse process of DA, just like the way we have reverse engineering. So when we have DA, we are measuring efficiency. But inverse DA is about, okay, let's assume the efficiency is constant. Can we have a kind of change, a kind of divide dx to either the input and note the effects in the output, or can we have a change in the output and check for the effects in the input? So that's the essence of inverse DA. And multi-criteria decision making, it's just about our max and mean. When you talk about, okay, do you want to maximize return, or you want to minimize risk, or you want to do both together? Maybe you want to maximize return and probably minimize the risk, and also the simulation systems, the forecasting, predicting to the future. So these are core tools that we industrial can use, whether in any field, and also at the same time, we can also use it in finance to make money. Okay, connection to finance. Okay, I think I've discussed most of this. So importance of the stock market to an investor is concerned about how it can make wealth. To an organization, it's about making capital, because when an organization is about to raise capital, they conduct what's called IPO, initial public offering. If it's a first, if that is their first time, so they use stock to make money from the public. And to the government, it's an indicator of the economic success and prospect of the country. And okay. So now let's discuss about stock portfolio management. So the portfolio here is talking about you having more than one stock. So when you have more than one, it becomes a portfolio. So in a portfolio problem, there are three issues that we tackled, and that is the issue of selection, optimization, and forecasting. So the selection here is like, okay, I have about 1,000 stocks in the market. Like in the United States market, there are about more than 3,000 NASDAQ stock, more than 4,000 New York Stock Exchange stocks, in total, US might have more than 7,000 stocks being traded. The question is, how do you know the right stock to select? So that becomes a selection problem. Also, the portfolio optimization problem, what does it mean? It means like, okay, let's say, for example, I'm selecting about 10 stocks. How do you determine your portfolio such that you can maximize the return of all the selected stock that you want to invest in or invest on? So the optimization problem is about, can you maximize the return from your investment, or can you minimize the risk? Or can you do the both at the same time? There are models that can do the first, the second, and the third. Maximize your returns, minimize your risk, or do both at the same time. And price forecasting is about predicting to the future. So we address the first problem, which is the problem of selection. So when we have the issue of selection, for example, in stock, like I said, I have 1,000 stocks. How do I know the right to select? DA can help in this case. How? It can help you evaluate the weighted output to the weighted inputs and know which of these stocks is efficient and which of these stocks is not efficient. And the efficiency is going to be based on the output and the input of that stocks. And what are the input? What are the output? We are going to get there. Okay. Now, heavy companies trading stock, we have what is called financial ratios or accounting standard. So this accounting standard, they are like ratios that address maybe like how strong or like maybe how buoyant, let's say, for example, maybe how liquid a company is. For example, we have current ratio. We have quick ratio, cash ratio, turnover, receive turnover, solvency. There are many, so I'm just listing 13. So let's say these are some of the accounting standard, or what we can call financial ratios of a company. So all these ratio defines every company. So the question is, based on these values, okay, a company can request that, okay, this is my current ratio. Another company will say, this is my quick ratio. All these has their own definition, but that's not where I'm going. So now, if the current ratio of a company now, it actually measures the liquidity of that company. How, like, okay, do I have enough money to stand as a company, or is my debt more than my assets, or my asset is more than the debt? If your asset is far more than the debt, that means your current ratio will be high. Likewise, something like your quick ratio too. Likewise, your cash ratio. These three now measure what is called liquidity, how liquid you are. Also, we have what is called asset turnover. We have what's called receivable turnover, and all this, they measure what's called utilization. We have what is called solvency. We have what is called profitability ratios, which determines how profitable a company is. And that can be determined by something like return on equity, your net profit, your earnings per share, and the like. We also have what is called valuation, and we have what is called growth. But here I didn't list growth. So all these 5 keys are what actually we call economic indicators of a company. And these economic indicators now have a lot of financial indicators, which I just listed 13. There are a lot of them in their hundreds. So having these ratios now, as an industrial engineer, what you are meant to do is to get all the values of this from every typical company, which have been most of the time being published for free. You can get them from NASDAQ, from Yahoo Finance, from WRTS, Writing Research Data Services, and many other database online. Some are free, some you have to pay. So you can get these values, then you take each stock, get all these value for each stock, and see how you can evaluate your data development analysis to know how efficient those stocks or those companies are. So, for example, now there is an issue. In data development analysis, there is a problem called cost of dimensionality. And what cost of dimensionality means, like if I'm evaluating a small quantity of DMUs, DMU means decision-making units. That decision-making unit can be like a firm. So if you are evaluating like 10 firms or 10 stocks, so your DMUs means 1 to 10. So now, if you get all these values now, which are the features, which you can call input and output, which you also call features of a data set. These features now, there is a law that says that the number of features must not exceed the number of DMU. There's a formula for that. So if that formula must hold, these features now, if I'm evaluating just 5 DMUs, the DMU I'm mentioning here is like the complaints. I want to evaluate 5 companies to know which one is efficient, which one is not efficient. And I'm evaluating them based on all these features, all these indicators, which are 13 in number. I cannot get a good answer. So because I've already disobeyed what's called cost of dimensionality. So as a result, I propose this method, though this method has been in existence, but not applied to finance or so. We call it Shannon entropy. And what Shannon entropy? We have all this multi-criteria decision making like AHP, we have like AMP, like there are many of them, Fuzzy and all those. But the issue about many of these multi-criteria decision making methods in knowing which features should I select, because if you look at this place, let me go back. In these financial indicators, I wrote here that current ratio can measure liquidity, quick ratio can measure liquidity, cash ratio can measure liquidity. Why do I need to have all these three ratios when they all measure the same thing, which is what? Liquidity. Though they will not give the same values, but they all measure what? Liquidity. So what Shannon entropy can do for you is like, it can help you look for the weighted value among these three things that measure the same perspective and pick the best. Now, this same thing I mentioned can be done using AHP, can be done using top 6 and many other multi-criteria decision-making techniques. But the problem is, most of these techniques, they use what is called expert opinions. And expert opinion may be biased. Most time when I see a lot of papers using expert opinion, I do doubt those work because they will say they reach out to 100. How do they easily get 100 experts to evaluate their study? And even if they get 100 experts to provide some opinions about their work, are we sure those opinions are not biased? Are we sure one of them did not invest in one of these companies? And if one of them invests, will not give a bad reputation or a bad recommendation about the company. So there is possibility of bias. So I use set because Shannon entropy method does not deal with expert opinions, which means the decision will not be biased. So by using that, I was able to know the weight of each financial ratio, as you can see. So the colored one, yes, are the one I select per each economic perspective. So I choose this to represent my liquidity. I choose receivable turnover to represent my utilization because it's one that actually carry the bigger weight. I choose solvency to represent my leverage. I choose earnings per share to represent my profitability. And for my valuation, I choose price to sales. So I was able to achieve that. Then from there, I was able to now use the selected features, which are the inputs, and the output, which are 5 in number now. If you look at this, I now have 1, 2 as my inputs, with the solvency 2 as my input, and I have 2 outputs, EPS, and I think I can't see that. That should be EPS and price to sales ratio. So then with that, I evaluated my DMUs. The DMUs are the industries I'm considering that should I invest in them or not. Those are the industries I want to know their efficiency. Are they efficient or not? So by doing that, I evaluated them using my industrial engineering tool, which is the DEA. And from there, you can see that I got to know that my DME3, DME4, DME5, they are efficient because any any DMU that has an efficiency score of 1 means it is efficient. So, and the 1 means 100%. So, if a particular company, now these DMUs are the companies being represented as DMU, decision making units. They are the stocks being selected that I want to evaluate. So it means stock 5, stock 3, stock 4, stock 5, stock, I think this should be, is it 9 or 10? Stock 10 and stock 15. They are all efficient. Okay, you can also check it in the network graph here. So why others are inefficient? So with this now, my problem is solved in the sense that I can say, okay, out of this, I think there are 16 number, if I'm not mistaken. I'm very sure that 5 are efficient. So I can discard the other maybe 11 stocks. So from these 5 now, these 5 can make my portfolios. And if you still want to get just one out of the 5 that will be the best, you can go ahead and use what is called inverse DE to perform a ranking technique. So that's what I did here. So I use inverse DE, and I told you what inverse DE is all about. It's a reverse version of DE, whereby the efficiency is kept constant. Okay, this thing is efficient. Because if you remember here, the efficient stocks, they all carry the same values, but the inefficient carry different values. So now, if all these efficient stocks, which is stock 3, stock 4, stock 5, stock 10, and I think stock 15, how will I know which one is better than the other? They all carry the same values. So, but by performing inverse DE, which is I kept the efficiency constant, and now perform a kind of dy dx variation that, okay, if I vary the input, will I get a percentage increase in output? That's what I did here. So I increase my output to know what's going to happen to the input. So when I increase the output by 1%, these are the input increase. So the higher the increase, the better the DMU. Then through this, I can select my best stock, my second best stock, my third best stock, my fourth best stock, and my fifth best stock. This was done using an IPE tool called inverse DE. So I've explained this already. So now let's go to the optimization aspect of it. I told you that stock portfolio management is about stock selection, stock optimization, and forecasting. So now these optimization issues now, a production is being seen as an input and output. What about a financial production? Likewise, we can also picture a financial production as an input and output. For many years, a financial production process is not being viewed as a production process because why? They usually consider this risk as an input, while this return is always seen as an output. However, Tanod in 2018, with a lot of mathematical proof, you can refer to the journal, said this is not possible. And even rational speaking, you will know that this is not possible. Why? This risk we are talking about here is called volatility. And this volatility is estimated at what is called standard deviation of the return. Now, if this risk is coming from the return, that is how standard deviation of the return, how they vary from the center. If this risk is coming from the return, how we now put this risk in as an input? And I said return is an output. No, these two can only be output, whereby we can assume that this return is a good output, while risk is a bad output. Why? Because everybody wants a better return, while everybody wants a lower risk. So this is like a current trend of research that people are doing now, that no, we cannot treat in finance production process, you cannot treat risk as an input and return as an output. Rather, you can treat both as an output, whereby one can be a good output or bad output. And as a result, this can become a kind of optimization problem that I want to maximize my output, which is my good output, which is the return, and minimize my bad output, which is the risk. Over here too, I developed an inverse DE model to carry out this process, and I was able to get some results. I'm not sure if I put the results here. This was the framework I did. Okay, let me check. Okay, yeah, the results are here, but you may not really understand. But this just talk about how I minimize. If you look at this is sigma. Sigma here means standard deviation. So using my inverse DE, I was able to reduce the risk in DMU5. This DMU5 means stock by this value. I was able to create a kind of risk reduction in this DMU to this value. I was able to create this reduction to this value and likewise others. Don't forget, all these stocks are the efficient stocks among the originally selected stocks, which is about 16 in number. So, and while doing this, you could see this. This shows that our efficiency value still remains the same. It didn't change. No changes in the efficiency value. That's how inverse can actually give you a picture of optimization in this case. Then let's move to AI revolution in finance. Actually, don't forget, I refer to the stock portfolio management, which is in 3 sections. I said the first one is the selection problem, which we actually use DA. The optimization problem where we use inverse DA. And the third one is the forecasting. So I've actually optimized my portfolio, but I want to forecast into the future. How do I forecast? So yeah, the revolution started with a statistical method. I believe many of us are already familiar with the statistical method of predicting the future, which involve using like exponential smoothing, ARIMA, Gash, and the likes. And why? This statistical method has a lot of limitation. They cannot handle nonlinear data. And financial data are not linear. You could see that whenever you see a picture of all this trading, you see something like zigzag, zigzag. So if it's zigzag, can a model like Gash, Arima, exponential smoothing, and the like handle it? Definitely no. If they handle, they have a lot of errors. So that was how the attention shifted to machine learning. So in machine learning, you have a lot of models. I just listed some here. Decision trees like GBM, KNN, SVM, and the likes. But there are some problems about some of these tools. For example, some of them have overfitting issues. Some of them have gradient descent issues, like gradient explosion or vanishing of gradient and the likes. So, and that is why the attention now moved to what is called deep learning. So in deep learning, we have a lot of models like GR, LSTM, which have been performing well and the likes. And now the current state of evolution in AI is about attention-based models, which is what I'm also working on even till now. So the whole world, if you are doing any research that is not attention-based, then you are not actually doing state-of-the-art research. So state-of-the-art research is all about attention-based. And this was actually started by Vaswani in 2017. And he stated that everything you need about life is all about attention. You can be in class and be doing something else, but there is a way that you can program your brain that it will give more attention to one of the things you are doing. So, which actually is what actually matters. So, if you have a lot of data, you don't need to use all the data for the model. The model can be created in a way that you give some things more attention than the other. So that is why if you look at all these ChatGPT, all these large language models, there are a lot of them, DeepSeek and the like, Kimi and co. They all use what is called attention-based models, which is called transformer. So transformer is state of the art of all models, and I will implore that everyone that is working on research that is not attention-based, please drop that research and see how you can bring attention-based to your research, because that's what is involved. Okay, so deep learning, look, I've explained this already. So I said how we can predict to the future. So this is a typical structure of how a transformer model looks like. It is what is called multi-head attention. It is what is called add and non feed forward. But the essential component of the whole transformer is just this multi-head. That is like the novelty of transformer model. Because this transformer model is not like it's actually new. The word attention has been existing before. We have what's called attention mechanism. People have been attaching attention mechanism to their models, their deep learning models. But this multi-L was actually the first of its kind, which involved like, okay, instead of having just one single attention mechanism, can we have a kind of multi-head so that if this head is not capturing this attention, another head can capture another attention, which is the most important of every component. So this is how a transformer model looks like. And I was able to apply it to 3 data sets. As you can see, this S&P 500, one of the major index in the US. This is FTSE 100, that's one of the major index in UK. And this HSI, one of the index in Hong Kong. All these 3 markets, they are we call them mature markets, and they are developed markets. So they are leading market in the world. If you go and check their statistics, they're among top 10. I think SRP is number one or thereabouts, yeah. But I know the three are among top 10. You can also check it out for all these markets. So I was able to predict and check using RNN, LSTM, GRE, and transformer models. And I was able to evaluate how transformer model was able to provide the best results among all these models. So I also subject it to trading. So the trading here is just like, okay, if I put $1, as you can see here, the origin of the trading start with $1. So I want to see the effect of my models every day. What will happen to my money? Consider at a point it was going up, at a point it was coming down, at a point it was going up, and all that. Likewise for other data sets. But from here, you can see that the transformer model, which is the one in black, actually performed better. It's more obvious here in this HSI, that's asset index. You can see that it performed better. Likewise here too. So to tell you how attention-based model can actually revolutionize portfolio management in predicting into the future. So if I can predict to the future, I can know when best to put money and when to withdraw. You know, when you put money, that's because it's like when you say we call it long. So and when you probably withdraw, we call it short. So it's a trading strategy which you also need to learn if you are interested in such models. So reward impact of all these things is like it helps you to improve screening process. Like the selection process now, you have 1,000 stocks to invest on. With the model, you can then say, okay, out of these 1,000, can I know which one are better and which one are not even okay to invest? With that, you evaluate the financial you evaluate the financial variables of the companies and know which companies is doing well to invest and which company is not efficient, is not productive. So it helps you in the stock screening process. It also helps you in making decision for as a portfolio manager. Okay, this a decision to make to maximize your return, and this is a decision to make to minimize your risk, and also reduce your exposure to volatile assets. Then, what are the application of all these things I've mentioned? This is what they use in robo advisory. This robo advisory is like what you can just probably write what you want online. There's some platform like that, and the system will advise you. It's more of the kind of you talking to a robot. That's how I can explain it. The algorithm trading, like something of all these um trading online, like all this future trading and the like. So that's algorithm trading. The risk assessment, if all this evaluation is being done, you can know the level of your risk for the stock or for the portfolio you're building. I know whether, okay, can I go for this portfolio with this risk, or no, can I go for a lower risk? So it can also help you in financial planning. Then opportunities of this kind of research can help you in quantitative finance, fintech roles, data science in banks and startup. Like I'm looking into fintech, I'm only looking for collaborators that we can work together and see how we can make money. It's not like I don't have the ideas, but just like the government, when it comes to finance, it's not that easy. So, and let me tell you something. One of the benefits you should know that this kind of research or this kind of work area. For example, I'm in Hong Kong. Hong Kong is the fourth largest financial center in the world. It used to be third until maybe 2 years ago that Singapore took the third position. So we are the fourth biggest financial center in the whole world. And let me tell you, Hong Kong, I've been in Hong Kong for 5 years and I've never seen a production company before. Yet Hong Kong is one of the um, like one of the most wealthy nations in the world. If you check it, we have the highest number of billionaires of any other countries in Asia. And even in the world, I think Hong Kong is like maybe number 5 thereabout, if I'm not mistaken. But in Asia, Hong Kong has the highest number of billionaires compared to any other city in Asia. You can check it, or any other country in Asia. So and most people who are billionaires here in Hong Kong, they are also into fintech. They don't have any production company. I've never seen a production company ever since I've been here. Here they thrive. So they don't have any manufacturing company. None. I've never seen any manufacturing company ever since I've been here. So finance is a big area, but what they have in Hong Kong, everything is finance. Everywhere you just see small company, just a floor is finance. Everywhere is finance. Everywhere. It's just like before you walk about three buildings, you see finance company or maybe a shop, finance shop or anything. It might be a crypto shop or anything. So you can actually make a lot of money by thinking of how you can apply IE skills or IE tools in finance. So key takeaway, think of stock as a system. where you have to put something in to get something out. So use DEA or invest DEA to model and optimize your stock portfolio and embrace how machine learning can help you to predict into the future. So yes, call to action, your tools can build wealth. Your tools like DEA, like data analytics tools can help you build wealth. And those sit on the lines as well in financial innovation. You just need to start from somewhere. And this is the end of my presentation. Thanks so much for your time.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Kennedy, for your presentation and for putting your family, University of Ibadan, Department of Industrial and Production Engineering to the global scale. I know while you are during your undergraduate level, you are called theory. So I'm not surprised with your delivery. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Before I ask our chairperson, Dr. E.S. Onowumi, to make some remarks, I would like to acknowledge the presence of some of our lecturers. Professor Yuleye is here. We thank you, sir. Dr. Ademola Adeyeye is here. Dr. Mojisola Olarinwa is here too, and Dr. Ayi Edem is here too. We appreciate you. We thank you for taking your time out of the busy schedule to join us. Thank you so much. So I would like to call on Professor E.S. Onowumi for your brief comments, brief remarks concerning the lecture. Thank you, Professor.
Well, thank you very much. Really, we all agree with me that the speaker is loaded with a lot of experience and applications of all the principles he has learned during the course of his program as undergraduate and also as a postgraduate student while in the University of Ibadan. Really, most of the things that he has taught us reminds me of some of the lectures I received under the tutelage of Professor Oluleye, Professor Charles Owaba. You know, they taught us all these multidisciplinary techniques and tools of optimization, which find its usefulness even to this present moment. I believe that for the people who are about to retire, who have had this, we have seen the power in the tools that we have been taught, which is being put into practice by Dr. Kennedy Temitope, even in a far place like Hong Kong. You hear from him the fortune he has been able to make by simply applying some of the tools, which we can also leverage on, and won't be irrelevant or lack liquidity even after retirement. So I want to thank the speaker for finding time to prepare and present this particular lecture. We are really, we have really learned a lot from your experience and the capacity of the tools that we seem to have learned many years back, and we may not have noticed or even appreciate the potential in those tools. We can see it now that practically some of these tools are not just theoretic, but they are real. So once again, I want to say thank you to Dr. Kennedy Temitope, who's doing very well, and we pray that you continue to blossom in the practice of industrial engineering, knowing fully well that this industrial engineering finds its wide application in virtually every areas of human endeavor. We keep saying that and we keep appreciating that. So once again, I thank the chairman, the Department of Industrial and Production Engineering. I appreciate my professor is online. He's also with us. Professor Oluleye supervised my master's, and also my undergraduates. I appreciate all of everyone who has been part of this progress. And I believe that continuing with this program will not only benefit those of us who are here now, but even many others who we need to encourage to join, both students, staffs, and even the academics, the people in the industry. And now we're seeing that even far beyond what we may have thought of, people in finance and some other markets and other finance industries and all that. So thank you for this. Thanks for your patience. And I wish everyone the best of luck in future. And thank you very much. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you so much,
Thanks so much.
Prof, our chairman for today. Thank you for kind words. And also, if I would like Professor Shonibare, our special guest of honor for tonight's meeting, if you have one or two comments, ma'am, concerning the lecture.
Thank you very much for the lecture. Personally, I enjoyed the lecture because, in fact, in my own thought, it should be a public lecture, not only confined to alumni of industrial and production engineering, because it is something that the finance houses will also need, some of these models, and individuals, especially maybe people that are moving on to retirement, that just like the start of this research by the speaker, I think it started from somebody that wanted to retire. So I would like to thank Dr. Kehinde Temitope Olubanjo very much. You have really convinced me that we should invest in stock. And just like you said in one of the slides, think of stock as systems. Systems do not run themselves until we also run them. So I think this is an encouragement to all of us that have had you today to think of stock as system and use some of these models, some of these tools that can help us to build wealth. I want to wish you all the best in your career. And I want to also congratulate the department and also encourage the department to take it beyond where it is now. For instance, some of your lectures, something like this should be something we should blow. You blow it high so that the public can really benefit from it more than we have done today. Thank you so very much for inviting me and blessing me with my participation in this lecture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you for the advices. Thank you so much, ma. And also, I would like to have one or two, allow two of our distinguished professors to also make comments. In the house also, we have Emeritus Professor O.A. Bamiro. Sir, I don't know, can you give some comments, sir? Sir?
Oh, is it me?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir. And you maybe some
Hello?
comments, sir. Some comments. We can hear you, sir.
Oh, is it Bamro? You are...
Yes,
Oh.
I said Professor Emeritus Professor O.A. Bamiro, sir.
Okay.
I said
Well,
one or two
I think
comments, sir. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think I must commend you people. You know, I mean, this is excellent. I mean, I think I've attended one or two before. Then I saw an advert. I think you did one about the previous two, the one where you did with enterprise resource planning.
Yes.
I think that was the time you did with enterprise resource planning.
That was April,
you know,
April last year, sir. April 2024.
Oh, as far back as last year. Yeah, okay. Because that was something that really helped me tremendously as the Vice Chancellor of University of Ibadan. Because it provided me with, decision-making support. And this one has to do now, this is excellent for investing. Well, people like us, we usually rely on one or two other people to tell us, oh, invest in this, invest in that. You don't know the basics. But you see the results later. And if things are not good, you say, okay, sell this off. But I think this analysis here, it's excellent in guiding us, for decision making us. But the only thing I could just say is that when I look at the number of parameters, that you need, for each stock, and then you say that the data being available, I ask myself, can we guarantee that all these companies will give accurate data about their stocks that will form the basis? Because if we can't guarantee that, then the simulation may be, it may not be as reliable as we have. So a lot of reliance on the integrity of all those data that form the base of them. But having said that, I think I commend our lecturer. I'm really impressed. So keep it up.
Thank you so much. And you've given us some food for thought also. And then before we go into comments, question and answers, I also want to call our teacher, professor as well, Professor A.E. Ule, to give us some comments concerning today's topic, the lecturer's presentation. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah, thank you very much. That was an excellent lecture. And I won't say I'm surprised. Kennedy, Tebitope has always been first class. And I just recall that when he was working with me, one of the questions I asked at that time was why he was interested in banks. But maybe now I know that the interest, aptitude, and so on have converged in a good place. So congratulations. Thank you very much for the excellent delivery. It's an eye-opener for many of us. And maybe I should just hint you that we'll be joining your tutorial class very soon so that we can learn a few tips from you. So keep it up. And please, like you are doing in Hong Kong with other brother, keep the pipeline so that the department can keep sending excellent products over there who will tower and do very well. So congratulations. And I think I want to thank Professor Bamiro also, and the chairman, Professor Nowumi, Professor Shonibare, and I think I saw Dr. Sasono.
Yes,
Thank you for being with us. Thank you and God bless.
thank you, sir. Thank you, Prof. Sir. I think
Very much.
it's now for us to have question and answers. Questions. The lecturer will give us that. So you can type in the chat box if you have any question. I'll be willing to take them. And then as well, you can unmute yourself before that. So if you have people, I'm looking for people to ask questions. I just have one or two questions based on having looked at what our guest speaker, our guest lecturer have taught us this evening. Dr. Kennedy, maybe you can put yourself on video. So because I could see that put yourself on video. So I think it's better. Yes. Okay, all right. Okay. The first question is what do you think will be the biggest challenge for you as an industrial engineer, or what has been the biggest challenge for you as an industrial engineer to convince traditional finance professional? Because I knew you at Zenith Bank Dubai and other things, and what has been the biggest challenge to you to convince them, both with ACCA, ICA, ATS, and the rest, for them to use industrial and production engineering tools, to use, IE tools? So what has been, and how did you, surmount those challenges? Maybe by the time you are telling them some things and they say, we are not engineers here. So maybe you have some examples and that you want to share with us.
Thanks so much. Okay, yes. What I believe is results speaks louder. So, like I said, this thing I'm doing, people who knows me here that it's not just about the theory. Even at the point I wanted to quit my PhD because of this. I'm being serious. So, but because it really took my time. because I was like, then, I said I stopped since like 2 or 3 years now because of financial regulations, because it's somehow money consuming and it's money demanding. So sometimes a lot of money will enter, sometimes a lot of money will leave the account, and someone of student visa then, and even anyone who is not maybe like PR or citizenship, you may not be entitled to some all these unlimited account balance. So why I'm saying this, like, I believe one of the way I believe to prove is just the evidence, which is the result, which I've already been working on. So I just believe like maybe when I have my own startup, get partners to work together, because it's a kind of capital intensive business. When they see it, they will believe it. That's one. And number two is some of the papers we publish too. So I published a paper on this. I also make some comparison with existing method like CAPM, like there's one called an MV framework and the likes. So when we make our comparison with this model, we in a theoretical way to show that, okay, this is what this is going to make us money, and this is what the proposal or the new model is going to make us money. So when some researchers read it, they raise some question which we address, and by putting into action, they see that this can actually make a better income or return than the existing method. So that's another way. So those two ways, I believe, should convince people better about how this can.
Okay, yeah,
And
thank
so,
you.
in addition, Prof. Okay, in addition, I think Professor Bamiro raised the issue of data integrity. So, well, data integrity is a big issue, but for stocks in US, I can guarantee that they are being regulated, highly regulated by SEC and many other financial bodies. So the issue of data manipulation, so it's very rare, like very, very extremely rare. So if you want to invest, choose your stock or your company wisely. So I will not advise you to invest in Nigerian stocks. I'm so sorry, but because of like what you just raised, that's why I said I won't advise. But if you invest in stocks like all these developed market, like US stocks, Nasdaq stocks, NYSE, their data are very, very accurate. And Nasdaq has been for years. Everybody knows more than 50 years. No, NSE has been for more than 50 years. Hong Kong stock too is among good market to invest in. So those one will not manipulate data. So any data being used from those companies are very, very accurate, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. And the second question, please, if you have comments, questions, please, you can signify by raising your hand, and as well, you can type in the question in the chat box. Also, second question is for any student, not necessarily industrial engineering and industrial and production engineering, so for any student that is also interested in this field, what are the key skills you think they should look for as early as possible beyond the curriculum? So, my question is, yes.
Okay, beyond the curriculum, so the core area of this or the core part of this work is just optimization. So I believe most of us did that in school. Though the optimization we did in school, we need to probably upgrade some of the curriculum. So what I will just say is like work more on optimization, read more on optimization, then applied optimization, because this is more of both theoretical and applied. So application is what give you money. Theoretical is what maybe the theorems backing the models. So just sharpen your skills in the area of optimizations and applied optimizations, then operational research, because everything about DEA, inverse EA is just operational research. Thank you.
Okay, all right, okay. Yeah, comments, questions. Do we have questions, please? Anyone with question? Yeah, someone is asking for the presentation. Yeah, I think the teacher, the lecturer should be willing to send it to us. Yes. Any other person? Comments, please. We've just received, okay. Oh, Dr. Eden. Yes, thank you, sir. Yeah, the floor is yours. Yeah, you can unmute yourself, sir. Yes, okay.
Yes. Yeah, good evening. Good evening, our dear presenter. I just want to find out a little about, I know Professor Bamiro talked about data integrity. I also want to voice out regarding data availability, with respect to the models you've just proposed. I work in an area related to safety, and of course, I'm also into forecasting as well. So a lot of what you have been saying here, just they are very key and relatable in terms of the area that I work in. But one of the challenges I think we've had had been the availability of information, data, most especially in our region here. So my question is, from your perspective in the financial sector, what would be the relevance of simulation with respect to generating data in an area where there's sparsity of data, and how relevant or significant can it be in helping, to at least measure up to the kind of models you are proposing, if that can be feasible or it can be looked into and made brought into reality. That may also help in terms of data availability when there are places where data is sparse. That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much for your question, Dr. Eden. Okay, yes, yeah. Like I said earlier, data available, but like now, for example, when you check on Yahoo Finance, data available, but they will not allow you to download a kind of extensive data for all this financial ratio, but every day or every month they give data for free. But if you want to get a kind of maybe long range data, you may have to pay. Now, talking about simulation in case there are less data, honestly, because that's what I'm still working on. Even tonight, I've run some models. I won't advise simulation because even using the real data, I mean the available data, even using a kind of full data set, for example, maybe you get the data from one of the paid database, doesn't guarantee a kind of robust model. Because why? Data, anything that has to do with finance, like you always see in the graph, maybe you've seen all this trading before, like zigzag, zigzag, zigzag. So what I'm saying is like, it's very, very sensitive, highly sensitive. And it's also a kind of something that is volatile. It can go up today, not like when you check all these stocks, you say, okay, Tesla is up today, tomorrow Tesla is down, So it's very, very volatile. And these things sometimes change in seconds, sometimes in minutes, in hours. So now something of such nature, even with real data, I can tell you that it's challenging to model financial data. For example, I published a paper a few months time, and I received a lot of, emails challenging the work because they were like, okay, probably they were concerned about the volatility part of the work, not the model itself. Okay, they were concerned about how do you handle this precisely, that we need to convince us more and the like. So what I'm just saying is like a data that in the real sense, if you have the full data, it's very, very like challenging to have it model and have a kind of high accuracy. What about if you now simulate data? So I'm not really sure that simulated data will work. But research is always it's continuous and it's open. So probably one can try it and see whether anything can come out of it. I'm also open to maybe trying it one day. But with real data that I've been trying is very, very challenging. Talk less of saying using simulated data. But like I said, it's a research, so we can just give it a chance. Let's see whether something can come out of it. Thank you.
All right, okay. I think my last question is I know based on what you have just said, applying these tools, which is, let's say, still maybe personal to you now, could give you kind of advantage, the 16 stocks, DMU, and then you're able to see this. Are there any ethical consideration in this? Is it
No.
okay? The financial market is okay if you are, is it because you are smarter, or no ethical consideration when applying this tool as a company?
Critical consideration, but
Okay.
any application when it comes to finance, I don't know if some people are used to finance. We see all this, not your financial advisor, not your this, not your that. So everything carry a risk. And one thing about finance, like when I said I was trading, then I do make a lot of loss, and at the same time I make a lot of gain, but my gains are more than the losses. So
Okay.
that's just one thing. So once your gains are more than the losses, one is fine. But thinking like you can come to any market and be making profit every day, I don't know how feasible that is, because even banks, forex trader who are experts, they also make losses very much. So it's just to just give it a try and learn from the mistakes, learn from the past, if in case there is any losses or so.
Okay.
So that's the way I picture it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Or as I said earlier, this is also available on YouTube channel of IPA for post-lecture view. I said at the beginning, for anyone that missed this or you really want to check what Dr. Kehinde has said, we can check out the YouTube channel. And then your final comments before before Dr. Adebimbe comes. Any final remarks? We want to, now all our teachers are here. So I think this is the best
Okay.
time to, yes.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So honestly, if I start mentioning names, and I don't know, time may not permit, but I will just still mention few. And the fact I didn't mention it doesn't mean you are all our daddies and mommy. But honestly, I would like to first and foremost thank my supervisor and my school daddy and my mentor too, Professor Toluleye, because he has always been there. And even not just about academics alone. I remember, that's why I was working in bank. I remember that Prof still gave me money, to do some processing about this admission. And I was surprised, like, though I was challenged to know all this processing abroad and the likes takes money. So, but yet, I always remember that Prof gave me money 3 times as regards my processing, then three different times. And also, Prof is never tired of giving me recommendation. Like, I remember there was a time that just one single scholarship, they sent him about 9 recommendation letters. And Prof was like, same scholarship is sent me about 9 recommendation letters to fill. What's happening? Is it an error? I said, no, it's not an error because I apply 9 different courses. So they have to send you 9 recommendations. And I was shocked that he still filled everything under 2 days. So likewise, Professor Professor Ladokun, he was never tired of writing me the recommendation letters. Likewise, Dr. Kola Watley. Likewise, Professor Dr. Adiyeye, I know. Then Dr. Odeda, he always write me recommendation letters, always had money. He's even one of the people that told me about Hong Kong, that won't you try Hong Kong? I remember that time that we were standing behind his car and telling me, like, have you tried Hong Kong before? And the likes. And thank God, I just make it okay, let me give it a try. And I couldn't, I honestly, I didn't believe that I'm going to make it because it's very, very competitive to study here, because the schools here in Hong Kong are very, very top rated. Like all their schools are like among top 100 in the world. They have just 8 universities here, and 5 are among top 100 in the world. So I doubt if there's any country in the world that has that kind of statistics. When you have more than 60% of your university, you rank top 100 in the world. So it's very, very challenging. And I think I was the last person that came here from our department or from the school. So it's very, very challenging. So I thanks everyone that contributed. I thanks Mommy Bolari. I thanks everybody. That's why I said Professor Ayeche, everybody. That's why I don't want to mention it, because everyone contributes in one way or the other. So thanks so much, because everything that you taught us, the guidance, mentorship, the financial support, everything what actually made us what we are today. So thank you so much. Thanks for being there. Thanks for all you do. And I pray that God shall continue to bless and enrich you in all aspects of your life. And thanks to the chairman, the chairperson, the guests, special guests, and everyone present tonight. Thanks for hosting me. And thanks for the privilege to give a lecture tonight. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Welcome. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Kehinde. And I would like to put onto the floor esteemed head of department, Professor Victor Oladokunsa.
It's okay. Thank you so much. We really appreciate tonight's lecture. I'm not going to give a vote of thanks. One of our lecturers will be going to, but I saw that I need to mention that I saw Baba Murakinyo in the audience, Engineer Oluyemi Murakinyo. We are very glad that Baba is here. Thank you, sir. He's one of the most consistent attendants of this event. I support our department. We really appreciate you. I want to appreciate Baba Bamiro. Bamiro is always helping us and always looking over our interest in the university and in the faculty and the department. So we appreciate you. Thank all our elders who are here. You really are really doing great for us. Again, we are very glad. I will be showing you a slide. Next month is going to be very interesting again. And I want us to let's put it in our diary. Dr. Kende will also appreciate. So let me leave the vote of thanks to
Yes.
our engineer,
Dr. Adebimpe.
Dr. Adipimpe. I just wanted to recognize Baba, all our Baba in the house, Emeritus Professor Bamiro and Engineer Murakio. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. So we're almost done. Maybe I would like Dr. O.A. Adebimpe to give us the vote of thanks. Doctor, you can unmute yourself. Okay. You here? Dr. Adebimpe? Dr. Adebimpe, are you with us, please? It's okay.
Okay.
Maybe,
I'm not sure.
Maybe Dr.
I see
Eden
how
can.
it was. Well, if
Yes.
it's not maybe because of network, let me again thank all of us for coming. I want to thank our guest lecturer, Dr. Kende Temitokpe, for your beautiful lecture. Really appreciate you. You've been a very good ambassador of the department. Thank you for honoring our call. I want to thank our chairman, who is also an external examiner to our department. I think he has been an external examiner to the department for a long time, also an alumnus of the department. Professor Naomi, we want to appreciate you for sharing tonight's event. I want to thank our special guest of honor, Professor Shonibare, the director of policy, a friend of us in the department. Want to appreciate you for coming. I know you are very busy, and I know you are a friend of the department also. Thank you for honoring our invitation and for staying through this program. I want to thank our guest of honor, former director of academic planning in the university, Dr. Olagbemi Osashona. I call him Baba Osashona because those are the people who mentor us, and you are also in church. And I learn how to organize myself each time I relate with him. And in those days, I would always trouble him on FT and all those calculations, and he was always listening to us. So, Baba, we thank you for coming. I see that Baba was listening to the lecture with his wife, Dr. Mrs. Oshashona, who is also a very good friend of the department. And many of you have done your PhD in our department. A lot of things that she has helped us with. You know, when she was in the PhD college, I will always go there and she will help us, willingly. So for many of you who are your PhD in our department, there are people who work behind the door to give us a lot of smooth work. Master Shona is one of them. I want to appreciate you. I want to appreciate all our elders in the house. Those are the people that we use to open doors anywhere we want to go. They will use their name to open doors. I want to appreciate all our past HODs who are in the house, all our senior alumni. I see a lot of them in the house. If I don't mention your name, please forgive me. I can see Engineer Olulade. I can see many of our senior alumni, people who graduated a long time ago. We appreciate you. As I scroll down, one of our former guest lecturer, Ralph Badejo, wonderful engineer. Thank you. We thank all of you. If you cannot remember you, I see Mrs. Oladokun here. Thank you for coming. That's my wife. She's a friend of the department. I will see many people. So we appreciate all of you, and we say God bless you. We want to see you next month. Please join us and be your friends. All our students want to see you again. You are the reason why we are here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. We appreciate you. We'll see you in September, I think September 12th. Yes, when we'll be hosting one of our beloved alumni, Dr. Deep Olaitan, is a strategic capacity optimization specialist. He'll be talking about what will industrial engineers do when AI takes over all our jobs. So let's come and listen to this interesting lecture again. Thank you for your time. God bless you. I wish you a good rest. Thank you.
Thank you so much, our host and head of department, Professor Victor Ladokun. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Kehinde. We appreciate you for coming. September 12th is another date, and we want you to come join us for the 36th episode edition. That's on strategic capacity optimization by Dr. Dipo Lighton. I wish you all the very best this week, and have a wonderful night's rest. Or if you're just starting your day, all the very best to everyone. Thank you, and by the grace of God, we'll see you on September 12th. So thank you so much, and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah.